Dude, we're going to rock the house, man. Ooh. Let's get it. Okay. Gotta channel the focus, okay? Because I could be all over the place. Gotta channel the focus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnell is about to come on and absolutely bring the heat and help you understand your self-image, overcome that self-doubt, the comfort zone that keeps you trapped. We're going to break through that, and you're going to get some great info and guidance and experience from Ronnell on how to do that. Before we dive into that, let's talk about the sponsor message of the day. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're a high achiever, if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, lost, or maybe you're doing good, but you know that there's a next level. You know you have greatness within you, and you're not quite hitting that mark yet. You don't have those incredibly high standards and results yet. That's what the 21-day challenge is here to do. I'm here to reignite you, to wake you up, to shake you up so that you step into your greatest possible self and performance and truly become proud of the type of results that you produce. So that's the 21-day challenge, one-on-one accountability for 21 days. You'll get crystal clear on your goals, dial in your daily processes, and remove those blocks and things that might be sabotaging you from getting to your next level. Send me a message, Chris@BeYourGPS, or find me on Facebook if you want to find out more, and let me know you're interested in the 21-day challenge. Next up is the iTunes review of the week, and this week it's by Lauren Mushu. Lauren says, "Great work. I'm so impressed. I've yet to listen to all the episodes, but this podcast is gold. Practical, relatable, inspiring, and uplifting. Chris is super committed to his craft. His energy is off the charts, wonderful, and he's truly magnetic. Highly recommend." Thank you so much, Lauren. If you are listening right now and you want to give us a review, you want to let us know how we can grow and improve the show to make it even better for you, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store. Thanks so much for doing that in advance. I appreciate you, and we use that feedback to grow and make this even better, even more valuable, even more epic, so that you are proud to listen. I'm going to bring on Ronnell in just a bit here. Before that, though, grab your pen, grab your paper, be ready to take notes, because you're going to get some gold. I had an amazing conversation when I met this incredible human being about 2 weeks ago at a live event, and he just stood out. High energy, had class, had swagger, had just this presence. And it was an amazing conversation, and I knew that there was gold, there was wisdom that he was speaking. So I know you're going to get a ton. Make sure you stay all the way through till the end of this interview so you get that gold, you get the wisdom, and make sure you take action on it and stay connected with Ronnell because he's a champ. Let's introduce him, and then we'll bring him on the show. You are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest is the author of The Path to Leadership, Leadership Transitions, and Leadership Execution. He's an entrepreneur, human behavior and change coach, and speaker. He completed executive education's programs at both Harvard University and Oxford University. Not bad for a young man who became a behavior specialist at age 32 and opened a residential group home for boys only 5 short years later. Ronnell, are you ready to rock this, brother?
I'm ready to rock. Let's do it.
We are rocking it, bro. We are on Facebook Live, streaming Become Your Greatest Possible Self, having a lot of fun, definitely. And, of course, we have our podcast and YouTube as well, tuning into this. So, Ronnell, thank you so much for being here and being here to share how we can evolve our behavior, evolve our self-belief, and truly break through our comfort zone, man. Thank you.
Chris, I'm excited that you have me here today. And I promise to serve your audience at the highest level.
Yes, I love it. I love it, man.
We're gonna. It's important to me, and you're important to me. So let's begin by saying this. My journey started when I was young. I want to say around 12 years old. I had some struggles, and these struggles weren't planned. You know, I'm grateful that I was able to write 3 books and, spend time at Harvard and Oxford, but it hadn't always been that way. It started when I was 12, and one day my father came home and he sat me down and he says, we have to move. I said, why do we have to move? Wow. He says, because the railroad that I've been working for the past 13 years has just closed down. So thousands of families were displaced. Wow. And, and I always question, if doing the right thing and making the right moves is the answer, why is this happening? You know, my father made all the right moves. So from that point on, the family had to make a quick decision. And my father decided, let's start a small business on delivering telephone books, the Yellow Pages phone books. Now, I know I'm going way back.
Wow.
Some people may not have ever heard of a phone book before. What is that, Ronnell? Don't worry about it. Technology disrupted that.
That's right. That's right.
So anyways, now we have Google. So we don't need telephone books anymore.
Thank God.
But thank God. But even at that time, I'm starting to question, you know, what's really going on? You know, if you make a commitment to the workplace, you should be able to meet the needs of your family.
Yeah.
So fast forward, let's talk about some other struggles, you know, because it hasn't always been great. And I remember at 30 years old, you know, I bought my first residential apartment building. And again, I went to school, got my degree, and heard about investing in real estate. And I lost everything. Wow. I lost all my assets. I lost the apartment building. I lost my car. I lost my job. And again, I'm saying, this sounds familiar. What's going on here?
Yep, there's a pattern. There's a
pattern here.
Recurring pattern here.
There's a recurring pattern. So what's going on here? Yeah. So I had to get in a quiet place, and I started to study, and I really started hitting the books. And I'm saying, something I'm doing that other people are doing that's successful. They're having greater results. And then I had this epiphany one day. I said, I'm constantly changing my outer world, but I'm not changing my inner world. Wow. See, that was the key. I was trying to put a small peg in a hole that doesn't fit. Well, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. That comfort zone can be challenging because it's kind of like running on a treadmill. You're putting all the effort into the workout, but you're never going to run the marathon because you're not conditioned to run a marathon. Wow. You're conditioned to run on the treadmill. So in your mind's eye, your inside or your inner world has to reflect your outer world. I didn't know that, nor did my parents know that. You know, they always thought, go to school, get a good job, and it just work out. Well, you know, that's almost like being on a ship and just letting the waves of the ocean guide you without a map, without a lighthouse.
And you're just gonna float around till you get to your destination, right? When is that gonna happen? When is that gonna happen? When are you gonna wind up there?
The rocks. Hopefully you won't hit the rocks, my friend. But that's the thing. So I'm putting out all this effort and all this energy. However, my mindset does not fit the description of the goal or the desired outcome that I want to achieve. So what happens? It's almost like driving a car, constantly patting your foot on the brakes. So you're driving, but are you going at the speed you desire to go? No, because you keep patting the brakes. You'll get there maybe, run out of gas.
Break the car, break the wheels before that happens. Your wheels can catch on fire or something.
But if the mindset doesn't change, the outer world is not going to change.
And you know, I love that you mentioned the car analogy, because I think it's very similar to people who are working their butt off and they're doing, they're in action and going, and they have self-sabotaging behaviors and patterns, and that continuously happening. Guess what that leads to? It leads to breakdown. It leads to fatigue. It leads to dis-ease in people's body because they are not aware of all this chaos and this misalignment that's going on in them.
I totally agree with you, my friend. Here's the situation. We've been taught to believe that the road to success is paved by these steps.
Mm.
Step 1,
Mm.
step 2, step 3. Now, you and I both know this. Most people know how to get their outcome.
Mm.
Hear what I'm trying to say here. Whether it's I'm trying to lose weight, whether it's I'm trying to earn my first million, they have the know-how. But here's the problem. There are 3 areas that I would like everyone to take notes on. Here's these 3 areas of action. These are my 3 action steps. Number 1, look at or examine your belief system. Number 2, your motivation. Number 3, your fears. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me break that down to you. I want to say in the next 2 months, I would be considered 3 years as a vegetarian.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. 3 years ago, I can also tell you when I was driving home and I could smell Popeye's chicken and make a U-turn. I'm in the parking lot. I've called my wife on the phone. She says, "Where you at?" I said, "You know where I'm at. I'm parked."
I'll be home soon, dear. Just
I'll be
wait.
home in 30 minutes, but I have a 2-piece and a biscuit, baby. Okay? And I'm chilling. Okay, why did I share that story with you? I'll tell you why I shared that story. Because number 1, my belief said, I need this chicken. I desire it.
Wow.
The scent gave me motivation to change my route. Did I have a fear? Yes, I feared losing the opportunity of sitting in that parking lot eating that piece of chicken.
There's some serious joy there in that chicken. There is some practically ecstasy. Right?
So, this is where it gets funny. Now I had to learn how to decondition my mind and set a new goal.
Yep.
So when I drive by the restaurant, I'm not hooked on the scent, and I'm not motivated, and I don't have that fear of loss.
Wow.
So these are 3 areas. So people tell me all the time, "Well, Ronnell, I'm ready to set goals. I'm going for it. 2019, woohoo, my year, baby." Okay, let's go back to what I mentioned earlier. You know how to do it, but do you have the desire? Are you really interested?
That burning desire. It's not
Is it a burning desire?
Yeah, I could use an extra million. You're not going to get there. You're not going to get there with that kind of mindset.
But are you willing to pay the price? See, one of my strengths is this. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Yes.
Second thing is I make a public announcement so that I can have people to hold me accountable.
Yep.
See, there are people that want to step out their comfort zone, but they don't want to make people aware of it. So if you fail, guess what? No one sees it. Yeah. No one knows it because I didn't share it with anyone. You know, one of the best decisions I made in 2018 was that I hired a coach.
Yes.
See, I understood that although I had these techniques and these principles, a good coach, not only hold you accountable, but they'll call you out on your stuff.
That's right.
Did you get that? Do you want feedback or feed forward? Can you handle it? See, some people will say to you, "Chris, I'm grown. I don't want nobody giving me feedback." Okay, that's fine. But here's the thing. If this coach can identify areas of weakness or strength that you may not be able to identify because you're so used to being yourself all the time. We're great at being ourselves. But see, there's someone out there that can look at your situation from a different angle and say, "Can we tweak that?"
That's valuable. That's the most valuable thing. We're so attached to our story and our
There you go.
perspective and how we do things, it's our comfort zone. So when we
Yes.
have someone else who sees it from a different angle, they are going to say something that is not probably what is the typical perspective. That's the value of a coach, is someone who says, hey, you could do this differently. Do this differently. It's not going to be comfortable, but if you want better results, listen and do it.
Because here's the thing. If you could do it on your own, why isn't it done?
That's right. I already would have done it.
You already would have done it, right?
That's right.
But here's the thing. Ronnell, I want to come out of my comfort zone. Now, this is going to bruise some people, what I'm about to say, but I don't want to invest in myself. Really? Okay, but you'll invest in college. You'll invest in a certification. You'll invest in a trade, but you won't invest in wisdom that could save you 20 years.
Wow.
15-year learning curve, and results. See, I graduated from college, and I enjoy walking across the stage, getting my degree. I enjoy being recruited by IBM, although I didn't accept the job. But what's the results? At the end of the day, what are the results?
Yeah. It's like what people strive for, the prestigious place to work at, Microsoft, Google, Dell, wherever, right? Like, it's great on the outside, it seems amazing, and then what happens once you get in? Oh, I'm just another cog in the machine. This is not what I thought I was getting into. This is not the dream that I had. Whose dream did I buy?
Exactly. Who dream did I buy into, and why don't I have the courage to at least follow mine on a part-time basis? I followed my dream on a part-time basis for many years. I can't tell you how many times I pivoted, but here's the thing. I have resilience. I'm not bragging. I have resilience. I won't stop. I'll fail. But see, to me, failure is feedback. To some people, it's fatal. To some people, it's detrimental. But look at it this way. A baby or a toddler will learn how to walk and fall thousands of times and never care about what other people think about me. Am I good enough?
No.
Am I capable of doing this? Let's keep on trucking.
Yep. Just keep going. They're relentless.
Just keep going.
And that's one of the things I wanted to mention, Ronnell, is because today our theme is what turns you on. And I think that when you know what turns you on, when you know what makes you come alive, you'll keep getting up. When you know your why, when you have that desire, like we were talking about earlier, like that's going to keep you going. That's going to keep you alive. And that's going to keep you persevering. You know, when you have that goal, that destination that's worthy, that makes you jump out of bed in the morning, or at least says, hey, after you get knocked down and get scraped up and you fall flat on your face, what's going to get you back up?
Well, here's the thing. Can you include more people in the why?
That's right.
You know, when I want to be the first of my mother's children to go to college and graduate from college, it was for me. But then when I lost everything at the age of 30, it became for them. See the difference?
Yeah.
When it was for me, it was easy. But now when I have a little brother or a little sister looking at me saying, hey, is this what my future is supposed to be like? Oh, no.
Wow.
No, your future is not supposed to look like. I've got to do something. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes adults, us, parents, we don't want to take responsibility for the behaviors that we're modeling.
Yeah.
A lot of the comfort zone stuff comes from us adults modeling to the children, life is tough.
Yep.
Dad, don't come to the table and say, I had a hard time at work today. Because I'm sitting back saying, I don't want to experience a hard time at work.
Nope.
Or money is hard to get. Life is difficult. These are all these beliefs that are swimming around in our subconscious when we're ready to step out of our comfort zone. It's there.
Yeah, and what I hear is it might even manifest itself externally, saying, man, I'm in college. Oh, I got to go get a job. I remember my dad saying how much work sucks. People tell me work sucks. Life tells me work sucks, blah, blah, blah. Work's going to suck. It could be that, or it could be subtle. It could be subconscious.
Subtle. Most of the times it's subtle.
Yeah, it could be subconscious. Like you don't even know that someone deep down inside, like resents money because it caused their parents to break up, or their parents said, money doesn't grow on trees, blah, 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 blah. Like oftentimes people don't even know that there's that self-image of who am I and how do I relate to these things, work, money, relationships, etc. Like people don't even know what's running the show.
No, they don't. And because, as you said, it's subtle and it's automatic. Remember, the mind gets to the point where it wants to parent us and protect us. It wants to keep us safe because it has that fear. So let's talk about this. There was a study years ago done on classical conditioning, and the subject at that time, and God, I'm excited that God and society doesn't allow these tests to go on anymore, but I just want to reference it. Hey, I had nothing to do with it.
I didn't sanction the test.
But it was the story of Albert in classical conditioning. Albert's this toddler, and we have the psychologist that comes in the room, and he gets to play with these little animals, a rabbit and all these other things. And then the second session, as little Albert is playing with these animals, the psychologist makes a loud noise, bang, and associates the noise with the objects. So now when little Albert sees the objects, he's terrified. Wow. He's trying to run. He's trying to get to his mom. Why did I share that story? Because some fears are conditioned. Did you see that? Some fears are conditioned. So when you have that fear of failure that's conditioned, you're going to protect yourself. You can have all the knowledge of the world. You're not stepping out of the comfort zone.
Wow.
I don't care where you got your degree from. You're not going to step out. Why? Because that fear has to be deconditioned. Okay, you'll step out a little bit to those safe areas that you're kind of familiar with. It's kind of like, I don't like my job today, but I'm going to go to another company and apply for a job that has the same requirements of my last job. Yeah. Then you just stay in your comfort zone?
Yep. And Ronnell, I'm curious with the comfort zone, if there is someone who is about to step out of their comfort zone, there's a perceived danger, a perceived risk with doing that, right? And perceived pain. And when that pain is potentially greater than the pleasure that we would get from stepping outside of the comfort zone, then we won't take that action. And there's a way that we can either amplify the pleasure that we'll get, so we'll be willing to push through the pain, or there's a way to decondition the pain. Which way would you recommend is the most effective, or that's your go-to?
Okay, my go-to is this. I would first start with visualization.
Okay.
You have to see the image that you want to become.
Definitely.
And you have to kind of get that imprinted in your mind. One of the things that I did with my coach, and one of the techniques she shared with me is, being able to stand in the mirror. Can you stand in the mirror and say amazing things to yourself about how you feel about yourself? That's tough for some people because you may not believe you're good enough. You may not believe you're worthy enough or deserving enough. So these steps are going to take time.
Yeah.
But one of the things I did was I took an image of myself and put it behind the background of my desired result.
Wow.
And guess what? My mind started to take these small incremental steps towards that goal. Give you an example. 5 months ago, I wouldn't have been doing this.
Wow. Wow.
This would have been terrifying for me.
Wow.
I wouldn't have done this 5 months ago. I would be like, no. Why? Because 5 months ago, I didn't picture myself going live on Facebook.
Wow. Wow.
But I had to train my mind to believe that it's okay. Yep. No one's going to harm me. I'm safe.
Yep.
And also, too, the focus is not about me.
Wow.
It's about the audience. So the minute I take the focus off of me and I can accept my imperfection, that pushes me out just a little bit more.
Yep. Well, it's like, hey, I know that life's not perfect, and this is gonna go about as good as it's gonna go, and I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be resourceful. I'm gonna be adaptable. I'm gonna be agile, and I'm just going to put myself out there. And it's like with that kind of mindset, then you have a lot more chances of not being, quote unquote, hurt by our subconscious mind, right? It's not as afraid because it's like, oh, well, the expectation has been properly set. We'll adapt. We'll be able to handle whatever comes our way. Makes sense. Yeah. Versus if we say we have to do it perfectly and we have these like super ridiculously high expectations of how it's supposed to go, then there's a lot of chance for us to feel like we got let down, like we weren't enough. And one of the things that I said when I first started this 12-hour marathon with each of the guests and each of the interviews, I said, hey, if we meaningfully impact one person's life, most likely many, many more, and if it just starts with one at a time, one person's life is made, there's a difference that's made, then we were successful. Our time here was valuable. It made a difference. And that's what I started with, just celebrating one step at a time.
That's right. And it's so true. But see, another thing that was going on with you is that you also had the belief or developed the belief that I'm capable of doing this. Because sometimes the mindset will say, let's talk about our track record. Let's talk about our background. Do you have experience in this? Wow. And you've got to be able to learn to quiet your mind and filter that out, because at the end of the day, we create our own reality, whether we want to admit that or not. We create our own reality. And what's fascinating about this life is that if you look around, all the things that were created by flawed individuals, human beings that weren't perfect. So that means I have a chance. You have a chance. Everyone has a chance. It's like if someone else can do it and they're less brilliant, less bright, less whatever, less talented than us, then surely we have a shot. Yes, we do. And can you surround yourself with people that support your vision, support your dream, and again, hold you accountable? That's right. And sometimes I may not want to bring those people around, not too much that I don't want the feedback. It's that I don't want to hurt someone else's feelings that I have to let go. Wow. They're a weight. Whether you like it or not, they're a weight. They're a drag. They're pulling you down. Now, again, we can be professional about this. I didn't say eliminate the person out of your life. I'm just saying this. Picture yourself at the movie theaters. You have the front row and the middle row. Now, the front row is where everyone can have access to you. And my question is this: should everyone be able to have access to you? So that person that's in the front row with you, just move them back a few seats to the middle row. Give them a chance to work on their issue. But that guy or that girl that's been in the middle row, that maybe they're an introvert like me trying to play an extrovert game, Promote them.
That's right. That's right.
Just because they haven't been making any noise, there's a reason for that. They're working on something. Bring them to the front row.
Wow.
They'll add value. They're humble. They're not looking for the accolades. They just want to make a difference. And I'm always on the lookout for people that want to make a difference. Yeah. You know, you talk about passion and doing what you love. I could do this for free.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yep.
Because I love it. And, you know, 20 years ago, I always saw my self-image, my self-concept of me speaking and making a difference in people's lives and transforming their lives. But see, what was my why was my first job. At 23, my first job was getting on the bus, going to treatment centers and transition programs for adults. And I was working with the homeless. I was working with incarcerated males. You know, I was working with women who was, you know, had to, for whatever reason in a toxic relationship they were in, had to be moved to safe houses. Wow. And I protected those people. Again, not bragging, but my job was to help them get back on their feet and find permanent housing for them. And in that process, I understood what I call the concept of death. Was people dying around me? No, I'm not talking about a physical death. I'm talking about a spiritual death. I'm talking about a mental death. I'm talking about emotional death. I'm talking about
identity death.
There you go. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
This time that we're given, sometimes it's easy to take it for granted. Sometimes it's easy to believe that that won't happen to me. See, I understand that one day they're going to have my funeral.
Yep.
Whether I like it or not.
That's right.
So if you know that's inevitable, why aren't you doing something? Every day is precious to me. Every day I live it like I live my last day. That's my why. I can't leave this planet and put my family in a financial bind or crisis. I should leave this planet with them having abundance.
Yes. Yes. Better than when you found it.
There you go. There you go.
Yep. That's right.
But we don't like talking about this concept of death. We like escape. You know, what keeps me focused? I don't like escaping. Let me tell you, again, not telling on myself, but sometimes I can be a boring guy. So, and this is what I mean by that. If I'm at a party, I'll bring a book with me.
Yep.
I have a book.
Yeah.
And everybody's sitting back and they're having a good time. They're looking at me, they're going, and where's Ronnell at? I found a room where I have a light and a book.
That's amazing.
Why? Because my time is precious. My time is valuable. And when someone gives me their time, I respect their time.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get it back. If that's not enough to give you the interest of thinking about going for it, whatever it is, then what? Then what? It's going to be work.
Yep.
You know, I've met a lot of people who want to do things, but they don't want to pay a price. You know, when I first became an entrepreneur, I was away from my wife. I was flying. There were times when, you know, my boss it would be a Monday and my boss would say, "You're flying out of the state on Wednesday." Oh, yeah? Let's see what my wife thinks about that. And guess what? my butt was on that plane on Wednesday.
That's right. That's right.
Why? Because I had to pay a price.
Yeah.
And I had to see if this is what I want to do. You know, and at 37 years old, I left the workplace. I've been an entrepreneur since. I have not gone back. Well, I'll go back for some contracts.
Oh, you need me? Oh, you need me now? Oh, okay.
Oh, you need me now? I'm all in. I'll go back for some contracts. But as an entrepreneur, if I don't hunt, I don't eat.
That's right.
You know, there's no time for me to be at work, playing, having a good time, you know, surfing, you know, costing the employer millions of dollars. If I don't hunt, I don't eat.
That's so important to get that survival instinct first. I think a lot of people, you know, with the integrity, with the ethics, with the morality, doing the right thing, and a lot of people want to bypass the tough work, the gross work, the willingness to go out there into the fields, plow the fields, and you know, do what it takes, as long as it takes to harvest the crops. Like, that is work, you know, going out and catching a buffalo, skinning it, you know, getting the organs and harvesting those. That is not pretty work. But if you want to eat, then that is what you have to be willing to do before you're able to just start pressing buttons and having systems and everything like that, putting money into your bank account.
Yes. And it still goes back to this one thing. I believe, this is just me, and it's my opinion. I believe everyone should have a coach.
Yes, 100%.
You know, I was remember when my coaching session was coming to an end, and I was telling my coach named Terry, I said, Terry, I wish you had like just an emergency line. Why? Because if you think for 1 minute that you stop learning, then there's your sabotage right there.
That's right.
There's your self-sabotage. Some of the top people that I have knowledge of have coaches. Yeah. Don't think that there's not someone behind the scenes saying, let's pivot here, let's do this.
That's right. That's right.
Let's address this issue.
Yeah, and the value of a coach is you have someone on your team who's 100% your champion and committed to getting you to your goals. And that is like the most powerful thing ever. There's also mentors who are more like people who've been there before, who are you know way ahead of you, who you want to be like, who have 10x, 100x your income or your net worth, and you're like, I want to be like that person. And then you go to that person and they can give you feedback. They can share, what they've learned along their journey. And I think the coach is more of like the personal, hey, I'm going to check in with you a lot. You're going to help hold me accountable. You're going to help make sure I do what I said I was going to do, versus the mentor is someone who's like the bigger strategy, someone who I want to create a lifestyle like yours. What do I need to know? What do I need to do? How can I just spend more time with you? That's the difference between the two in my opinion.
You know what? Also, that coach can help guide you and navigate you to making choices.
That's right.
Because see, one of the things when we're on a journey of, stepping out of our comfort zone, doing things new, doing things that's unfamiliar to us. Again, most of the time we know the how, but we don't want to make the decision. We don't really desire to make the tough decisions. And again, why? It goes back to, if I fail, I'll be embarrassed.
Wow.
Let me tell you something, my friend. And I told someone this a few weeks ago. I'm almost certain that no one is so into your business that they are just concerned about you failing.
And they're waiting. They're ready for you to fail,
they're waiting.
To laugh.
They've got the camera crew and everything. They've got the crowd, the energy, the music's pumping. They got the DJ, and they're just waiting for you to fall on the ice. I don't think so. Everybody I know are so into themselves, and I don't mean that from a vain point of view, but I mean that they are so focused on getting their outcome, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So they don't have time to be watching you to see if you're going to fail or succeed.
Wow.
But the beautiful thing about failing is when you succeed, no one cares about it. When you're out there crushing it, I hadn't had a conversation yet where someone says, so Ronnell, you're crushing it in this area. Tell me about your failures. No. They just want the results.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a step-by-step process because, number one, we're all individually shaped by our upbringing, our role models, our caregivers. So we're all going to see the world differently. So the step you took is going to be different from the step that I took or the step that I take. There is no, it's not no straight line. It's a Grand Canyon, baby.
That's right.
Sometimes when you think you're going for the goal, you think it's just a straight line. It's not. There's ditches. There's this place I call it the cave. When you're in this cave,
the abyss,
for a good minute, and this is where it gets kind of shaky because I've heard people say, I don't hear from God no more. People that are meditating saying, I hear drama in my mind. No, pump the brakes. Everything's fine. You're just in that place where now you got to figure it out, especially when it's never been done before, in your family or, people, associations, you're doing something new.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is this. If you're dedicated and committed and you can stay interested, the motivation is going to be there. The consistency is going to be there. See, here's the thing. Some of us may not feel like we deserve to take small bets on ourselves. Some of us may not feel like we deserve to experiment and get it wrong. But if you make those small incremental shifts, you build momentum. You build consistency. Right. I give you an example. Only 70 days ago, I was terrified to shoot a video. Wow. Only 70 days ago. Wow. And I remember telling my coach, I'm going to shoot a video every day and post it every day. I don't care if it's 12 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to sleep without posting a video. After this, I have to post a video. Yes. Why? Why? Because I said I would do it. I made a public announcement, and I know there are people out there that will hold me accountable and say, hey, Ronnell, you're on video number 70, and I don't see it.
That's right.
You got to take small bets on yourself and then celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the small wins, because as you're celebrating the small wins, you'll do more. You deserve more. I'm talking to our audience right now. You deserve more, and you're worthy of more. And no matter what someone has said to you, you have what it takes. There are so many people out there that see a dreamer, and that dreamer share their dream, and you know what they'll tell them? You can't have that. I can have it, but you can't have it. And that's what happened to me. At 17 years old, I remember going to my high school counselor, and I had just taken the ACT test, and to me, I thought I did okay. Yep. He sits me down and he says, so what 2 universities would you like to attend? I said, Loyola University of Chicago or Northwestern. He turns around, he looks at me, he says, you could never get into those universities.
Wow.
My self-esteem, my self-image, my self-concept dissolved. And then I had to go home and think about it. And I had to say, is what he's saying true, or what I believe is true? Well, after graduating from Loyola University of Chicago,
boom, let's go.
I couldn't find the dude. Not that I went looking for him, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Are you going to allow someone else's negative belief to get in your mind, get in your spirit, and become like a toxic virus? Or are you going to take control of your thoughts? Now, again, it's going to be work. You may have to journal. You may have to keep your dream a secret. Why? Because you can't share your dream with everyone, especially if they're not operating on the same frequency.
That's right. That's right.
You have to protect your dream.
Beautiful.
You got to do the work. You got to face your fears.
Yeah. So, Ronnell, if there was, one powerful point that you really want to drive home around the comfort zone, maybe we've touched on it already, or if we haven't quite gotten hitting the nail on the head, why don't we drive that home again, or for our audience for the first time?
This is what I would drive home. Now that we understand that beliefs, limiting beliefs, false beliefs, and conditionings can kind of hold us back. I believe if you can keep the motivation, because again, I truly believe that most of the time when we desire to do something, we either know how to do it, or we know someone that knows how to do it or figure it out. But if we don't have the motivation, if we don't have the desire or the interest, will we get started? I don't think and nothing against people who, dig coal mines. I think that's fascinating, but I know that I don't have the lung capacity for it. I'm not designed for it. But if I desired it, I'd go for it.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yep.
So I think it's motivation, and it has to be internal, and it has to be self-motivated. You can't rely on someone to start your engine every day. It's got to be you. Like in the book Think and Grow Rich, there was a section where they talked about this army that wanted to go defeat this rich king. And no one could defeat this king. But then this one army came and said, burn the boats.
Yep.
No way of retreat. Well, if you burn the boats, you must be going home in their boats. Right? Am I right?
There is no other options.
There's no other option. I've taken away your choice.
Yeah.
You're going to go home in their boats. And that's what internal motivation, drive, desire, and interest is all about. It's about burning the boats, no retreat. We're going to go for it. We're going to go get it.
Yeah.
We're ready to go get it. Go get it.
That's right. We're going to get it. We're going and getting it. So, Ronnell, how do people stay connected with you, man? What's the next steps they can take with you?
Okay, here's the
they're
next
loving
step.
this. Dude, I just want to, before you share, Ronnell, hold on, wait. You are bringing the fire, man. It is like incredible how much wisdom you have, and just your linguistic capacity, and just showing up today is phenomenal, dude. So they want to stay connected. How can they do that, man?
Here's the thing. I'm in the position of just revamping everything, because one thing about me, when I say I'm going to give you value, I'm different. I mean results. That's right. I mean results. So I'm working on a master class right now. I'm designing a master class, and I'll give the details. But here's the thing. I'm going to keep it a secret. Why? Because I want people working on themselves. So when you come to me, we have a foundation. And I only want to work with people who are willing to pay the price. That's right. So I purposely took down my website so I can get focused. So the way to find me is just follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and let me continue to serve you and add value. I want to be in the long term with you. I want nothing from you but your success.
So amazing. So what is your Instagram? What are the handles? How do they find that?
Instagram is at Ronnell Crittenden.
Beautiful. Love it. So simple. So simple. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. So powerful. Ronnell, you are a freaking powerhouse, dude. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone, stay connected with this guy. Oh my God. Guy is just like, that is not enough. That's not enough of a title to handle your capacity, your magnitude. It is off the charts, dude. You brought so much value, so much great energy, so much wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
We had Paul who tuned in. He says, this is all so damn good. And he was
Awesome.
he was just saying, this is amazing. So Ronnell, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate you
having me.
and what you're doing in the world. This is just the beginning for you, man.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep an eye on Ronnell and watch
Let's
your
do it.
meteoric rise, because you're on fire, man. Keep it up.